Hello people, my name is Zia Mullah and welcome to Yes We Can. Has it ever occurred to you that you had a very ineffective meeting? Has it ever occurred to you that you lost a client after the meeting? Has it ever occurred to you that you were the only person who was speaking at the meeting? There was no interaction. Has it ever occurred to you that you struggled with the right presentation skills? Has it ever occurred to you that people showcased negative body language and gestures during the meeting? For example, they were yawning, they were looking at their watches. If the answer is yes to all these questions, then yes, we had a very ineffective business meetings. Now, why are we doing this analysis? The answer is pretty simple. If my business meeting skills are not very strong, then I will definitely struggle to grow in the organization. No matter what position you work at, you are a clerk, a project manager, a team leader, a vice president, or an entrepreneur, or a salesman for that matter, there are three major tools that we use every single day to communicate. Tool number one, you communicate face to face. You meet people face to face. Tool number two, you communicate using phone communication. Tool number three, email communication. This is something that every single person, whether you are a clerk or an entrepreneur, you will have to use this tool. And if you really want to be successful, if you really want to grow, if you really want to increase your salary, you must be a pro in delivering this skill. Successful people, they nail the meeting like a pro. That's the topic today. The topic is, how do we nail every single business meeting like a professional? How do we execute every single meeting very successfully? So before wasting any more time, let's quickly get into certain tips. I'm going to give you certain incredible tips which will help you to nail that business meeting every single day like a pro. Tip number one, be prepared. If you do your homework well, you are more confident. For example, you are a sales guy, right? And you have to go and meet that client. So you need to do your homework about who this guy is. What are his powers? Is he an influencer or he is a decision maker? This information you can easily get it on LinkedIn. So before meeting that person, you're scheduled to meet him at this particular day, time, go and spend some time, do a little research about his organization, about his roles and responsibilities, his position in the organization, and then decide. LinkedIn is a very good source to get intel about the person whom you're meeting, because you would know his career graph, you would know his decision making capabilities, you would know whether he can influence anybody, you would also know his likes and dislikes. Your clients, now listen to this very carefully, your clients, no matter you have a direct client or if you are an HR, you want to get talent into the organization, every single person whom you meet for the first time, you talk to them on the phone first time, this is natural. It does not take, listen to this carefully, it does not take more than 30 seconds for them to decide whether they want to work with you or no. So I have the first 30 seconds to create an amazing first impression. So be prepared, right? Tip number two is work on your attire, work on your body language. When you're meeting somebody face to face, make sure you have a good attire to present yourself. Now, this is very important. Listen to this. You are face of your organization. So if I am Zia and I am working for, let's say, ABC Technologies, and if I'm meeting a client face to face or on the phone, I am not Zia anymore. I am face of ABC Technologies. I'm a face of a brand. So you need to showcase yourself as a professional person. You need to you need to showcase yourself as a face of your organization. So work on your attire, work on your body language, work on your gestures. Smile. When you smile, you look beautiful. When you smile, you showcase others that you're happy to do business with. You're happy to network. So tip number 2, work on your attire, work on your body language. Tip number 3, very, very important. Do you know people judge you on how do you manage your time? So get ready. If you're meeting somebody on the phone or face to face, be ready, be there at least 10 to 15 minutes prior to the meeting. For example, I have a conference call with the client scheduled at 3 p.m. So what do? If I really want to nail that meeting like a pro, I need to be present, be ready on my desk and ready to dial in at 2:45 p.m. 10 to 15 minutes prior. Most of the meetings fail because they do not respect the time. What happens if you do not respect the time? The world is not going to respect you. As simple as that. And what else? There will be a lot of anxiety because you will always feel that I'm late for the meeting, and then you'll struggle with the presentation skills. So be there 10 to 15 minutes prior to the meeting. Work on arriving early. If you're meeting somebody face to face, try to be there 10 to 15 minutes, early as per the scheduled time. That gives you a good amount of breather, and it also helps you for the 11th hour preparations, and you'll be far more confident. Step number 3, listen actively. There are 2 types of listeners. One is a passive listener. Passive listener means who listens for the sake of listening, right? And the second type of a listener is an active listener. The active listener is the listener who understands, who is ready mentally ready to listen. Listen to understand, guys. Do not listen to respond. 90% people, they listen to respond. And that is the reason we are not able to understand, or we're not able to comprehend what the person is trying to deliver. So if I really want to nail that meeting like a pro, I should be mentally prepared. Tell yourself right before the meeting that I'm going to listen well in this particular meeting. Because if you're meeting somebody, a candidate for the first time, you want to hire that talent. If you are a sales guy, you want to bring in that client and bring in revenue to the organization, the client will always love to talk to you when you're listening to them. Because eventually business is all about solving a problem. So listen well. Now how do we do this? I would rather suggest that when you are in a meeting, take a pen and paper handy with you. Write down the notes. When the client is talking to you, write down the notes, because typically what happens if the meeting gets a little longer, and then if you really want to go back and summarize what was discussed and what solutions has to be offered, you will have a difficult time because you did not wrote your notes. So get into a habit of writing your notes, and also do not interrupt the speaker. Do not interrupt the speaker when he is talking to you during a business meeting, because number 1, that is disrespectful. Number 2, you are cutting the source of the intel. But whatever questions that you have or you may have, write down on the paper. And when the speaker is done talking, do ask your questions. So that's how the meeting will be more interactive. So listen well. Next tip is offer solution to the problem. Why is a business meeting scheduled? A business meeting is scheduled to talk about the solution for their problems. Let's say I am ABC Technologies, I'm face of ABC Technologies, and we have like tons of services that we want to offer. Let's say we do IT consulting, we do software development, we are into manufacturing of products, etc., etc., etc. But the client is only interested in talking to you and meeting to you to see if you are able to solve their problems. That's how you will get business. If you are able to solve the problem of the client, you are going to have that client no matter what happens, because you're offering a solution. So in a meeting, do not keep talking about your offerings. You will have tons of offerings. See, the client is not interested to know what you have to offer. The client is only interested to know, are you able to solve their problem? So offer a solution, listen to their problem and offer a solution. Next step is summarize. After the meeting is done, summarize the meeting, summarize, discuss, like what all agenda you were talking about. So talk about it and then discuss and write it down. The next step is end the meeting on a very good note. Very important. You need to possess some really strong body language. You have to thank them for the time. You need to tell them that you had a great meeting. You should tell them it was pleasure meeting with you, and always keep a window open for the next discussion. That's how professional people do it. Let's say today is Sunday, or let's say today is Monday, and when you end the meeting, you say, how does your calendar look like on Thursday evening 6 p.m. Let's have a quick phone call to discuss and follow up what we discussed on the strategy. So always keep a window open for the next meeting, and once you are done, you end up very gracefully with positive body gestures. You shake those hands and you smile and you thank them for the time and then move out. Next very important step: when you're done with the meeting, do not forget to write an email to the client or the candidate or the vendor, whoever you're meeting with, and thank them for the time and put a summary of what all was discussed and what solutions were offered. That's how you nail a business meeting like a pro. And next, you follow up. You keep following up for the next meeting. So with that thought, we're done with how to nail a business meeting like a pro. So please subscribe for more amazing content and do let me know. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.